So actually, what I have done, this is the last slide. I have totally brought down, I have warmed up the whole thing. Now you have a very strong foundation, how it works. I don't think there is any doubt. Now you are very clear what is this whole game all about. Basically, it's all about payments. It is all about documents. It is all about getting those documents. It is all about Incoterms. It is all about understanding banking system, right? And it is all about dealing with customs. It is all about getting the incentives. So this is basically the foundation of this 2-day training. This is the whole foundation. And as I told you, export normally is effected through sea, air and land, or through post or courier services. So obviously the documentation will be having some changes according to whether it is through sea. Like for sea it is bill of lading. For air, if it is called airway bill. If it is through post, it is called postal receipt. That thing, bill of lading, is called postal receipt. And if it is through courier service, also it is airway bill. Because mostly courier service through
airfreight and courier are same.
Same thing. Or if it is through truck, like for example between India and Bangladesh, the goods go by truck also. It is called LR, lorry receipt. But all are same. Bill of lading, airway bill. All these documents, the category, it is called transport document. It is called transport document. Right? Now there is a very common new kind of document, transport document. It is called CTD, combined transport document. Now what is the meaning of CTD? This is the most common nowadays. Instead of bill of lading, instead of airway bill, instead of lorry receipt, instead of postal receipt, now there is a document which is called CTD. What is the meaning of this? Now what happens? Suppose you are sending goods from Delhi. You are a handicraft exporter. You are sending 40 lakh rupees worth of handicrafts to Germany from Delhi. Delhi does not have a sea. Delhi has no sea. Either you can send goods by air, but what will be the problem with the air? Cost will go up, right? Unless the buyer needs it very urgently, you will not send by air. So what you will do? You will send by Bombay. But do you have time to go to Bombay? Or can you afford somebody to go with the shipment to Bombay and get it cleared? You will not do it. So what will you do? Now you have got two options. One option is to involve a transport company. I don't know, sir, my goods are ready. It has to go to Germany. Please pick up the goods from my factory and supply to German buyer. I want very cost effective. So what is the minimum cost effective? You will say, sir, please don't send by here. Please send it by whatever means, but don't send by here. But take it from my factory. I don't want to get into all this. I don't have time. So we'll charge something. So he is called multi-modal transport operator, MTO. That company is technically known as multi-modal transport operator. Courier service is actually, courier is also actually MTO. Right or wrong? Because courier also lifts item from your door-to-door service, right? He will lift it from your house, will put it in the bike. That bike will go to the warehouse, and warehouse it will be put in the Hessian sack, and the Hessian sack will go in the truck, and the truck will go to probably railways. Railway Rajdhani, it will go to Bombay. Next day it will reach morning. Then it will be picked up. That Hessian bag will be put in the ship, right? So courier service is also doing what? Multi-modal transport operations, isn't it? Till what? Till the door of the buyer. Now what has happened? These MTOs, instead of getting into all the trouble of giving you airway bill or bill of lading, they will issue a CTD, combined transport document, right? But the problem is whether your LC accepts CTD. If the LC says I want airway bill, or if the LC says I want bill of lading, you cannot do. But let me tell you, if you convince your buyer at the stage of contract only, sir, please accept CDD, combined transport. But the only, can you tell me what is the problem with CDD? Why buyers will not be interested in CDD? First of all, can you tell me what is the problem? Combined transport document instead of bill of lading. What should be the problem? Even the bank may put objection. Can you tell me why? In fact, bank should not have any objection if the buyer is ready to accept it. Actually, ultimately, the bank has to sell the document to the buyer. But why the interest of the buyer is not protected in CTD? Can you tell me the reason?
Because maybe inline transportation clauses are not enforced by any WTO or something.
No, WTO has no role in this. Because WTO is not concerned about that. Why WTO should be?
It may have left their warehouse, but actually not boarded.
Yeah, it might have left the warehouse. See, the most safe point for any international buyer is the goods have been cleared by customs. Because when goods are cleared by customs, there is a customs seal. Nobody can open this seal. Only the customs of that country can open. So first of all, there is no risk of any pilferage. Second, the goods have been received by the shipping company, which is a shipping company, international shipping company. You cannot create a fake document. It is a bill of lading issued by a shipping company. Bill of lading. That's a very authentic document. So you are safe. The goods have been loaded on the ship. Now, if it is loaded on the ship, ship will definitely sail. Why ship will remain in the sea? 1 or 2 days it will do the berthing. After that it has to sail, right? So you are safe. But in CTD, the moment goods are lifted, he can issue the CTD. Right or wrong? When you go to a courier company, they give you a receipt. That is nothing but actually that is a CTD. The receipt which is given to you when you go to a courier company, that is not a airway bill. That is a CTD, combined transport document. By whatever we will do. You keep this receipt. The maximum what I will say will provide you POD, proof of delivery. Right? That is CTD. But CTD is good for you, but it is not good for the buyer. Because buyer is not sure. But what you can do? You say, sir, in today's modern world, who has time to go to shipping company and do all that, sir? I am giving this goods to this company, shipping company. He's a very professional company, he's a professional MTO. Sir, you have to believe it. Yes, he will believe it. Suppose you are giving to DHL, suppose you are giving to Container Corporation of India, you are giving to Adani. Adani has become an MTO, Reliance has become an MTO. Now they are proper companies, you know that. If they have taken custody of the goods and issued you a CTD, it is as good as the bill of lading given by the shipping company, don't you think? Obviously, right? Although there is a system, even after CTD, if your LC demand bill of lading, MTO is obliged to give you in the shortest possible time the bill of lading, if it is very, very necessary. But nowadays, business has gone beyond seashores. It has become place to place. Delhi to Germany, Delhi to Düsseldorf, for example. You are not bothered about in between what happens. Whether it is going to Bombay port or whether it is going to Kandla port. I have given it to the MTO, he has picked up the goods. So now it is called place to place, right? So you, on the place of pickup, you get a CTD, combined transport document, right? And the LC accepted. Now it is very common. Is it clear now? This transport documents. See why I have given in detail, because from here will come the concept of Incoterms, which I will discuss. Because Incoterms now has been designed with this new reality of CTD, of place to place, right? Multimodal terms, right? Because nowadays nobody has time, you know. Clear? So these Incoterms have been redesigned to understand this, to match with this CTD and all this. So today's game is place to place. Not Bombay to German port. It is Delhi to Düsseldorf or Delhi to Chicago, like that. Irrespective of whether it is by air or by sea or whatever it is. Now it is placed here. So, documents pertaining to this are invoice, packing list, shipping bill. No, shipping bill is an inland document. LC will not ask for shipping bill. What is shipping bill? Shipping bill is between you and the customs. It's a document for inland consumption. Custom, to communicate to the custom that I am exporting this thing and this declaration is there. Those information is of no use to buyer, obviously. So that is a regulatory document. I told you, different documents are there. Commercial document, regulatory documents. In commercial, you got principal and auxiliary. So shipping bill is a commercial regulatory document. Availing the benefits of duty drawback or to deal with the customs. We will discuss that later. Then marine insurance cover, which means insurance certificate, right? In insurance there are two documents. One is the policy and second is the certificate. Buyer is not concerned about the policy. Policy is a contract between you and the company. Buyer is interested in the insurance certificate that you have made the payment, right? Then certificate of origin, inspection of test certificate basically means quality certificate. Because otherwise how buyer will ensure that you showed some sample and the goods are the same. The handicrafts, you showed some sample of Odisha, some drawings or some paintings. But actually what you supply, description is same, but actually the quality is not same. So somebody has to check the quality based on the sample, right? So that's a third party. And 99% cases, there is an international company which is involved in this, that is called SGS. It's a Swiss company. SGS. It is the most acceptable company. 99% cases, in 99% cases, the quality certificate is given by SGS. So it is also called SGS inspection. Or sometimes it is written, we want SGS inspection certificate. That is nothing but quality certificate, actually, right? All these are commercial documents, except the shipping bill. Shipping bill is not a commercial document. It is for the communication to the custom house or getting the incentives from the bank, government for that purpose. So shipping bill is a totally different for home consumption, right? And shipping bill has nothing to do with the ADS, Aligned Document System. And let me tell you one more thing. All the documents which are regulatory for the home consumption, now they are all online. They are not in the physical form. Shipping bill is also online, right? To make it easy, to make the business simple, right? It's all online. Why commercial documents are online, not online? Can you tell me? Logically you can tell me. Why the commercial documents like invoice, packing list, insurance certificate, or freight certificate, or certificate of origin, or quality certificate, they are not online. Can you tell me why? All commercial documents are not online. Why?
The formats are not a standard.
No, it is standard. ADS, Aligned Document System. It is standard. Rather, other documents are not standard, like shipping bill or all. That is for home consumption. They are not ADS. The commercial documents are ADS, but even then they are not online. Why? Can you tell me the reason? Logically you can tell easily. Why they are not online? If it is online, it will become very easy. Everything will be very easy game. If it is online.
Because of the significance, I think.
Significance of what?
Invoice and because in invoice the prices are there which are visible to
Online also. That problem will be there in shipping bill also. For custom also. In fact, it will be more problem for custom because custom has to check the undervaluation or overvaluation. That is not the problem. The problem is ADS system is for 180 plus countries. All countries are not rich countries. They are A, B or C countries. C countries are least developed countries. They will not have that infrastructure for the online system. For online system to work, all 180, 283, whatever the countries, every country should have a same system. There should be electricity available, there should be IT backbone should be there should be broadband facility, everything should be there, otherwise it will not work. Even if one country is not online, he will be out of business. He will be out of business. For this reason, commercial document we are unable to convert into online. It has to be physical form. Because even in US it is not online. It cannot be. Because in that case, US will be able to do business only with those countries which has got this infrastructure. If any country does not have that infrastructure, and then even that WTO will not allow. It will become another discrimination by a rich country to a poor country. Sir, we cannot import from Somalia. Why? Sir, they do not have an online system. So what? WTO will say, so what? They are our first preference. You should import from Somalia only. But sir, they don't have online. To help with online, do it physical. Because they are poor countries. They have to be brought up. So WTO will say, what are you doing? You are doing blunder. So WTO will say, forget about online. Everybody should do physical. Correct? Otherwise it will not work. So all inland documents are online, but all commercial documents are. Okay? So this, now you already have an understanding of this. So anything which you have not understood, we can talk about so that when we go further.
Sir, apart from these documents, if we are sending classes or a fragile item,
Okay.
do we need to issue indemnity bond stating that goods responsibility will solely be the responsibility of JCB and not for transport?
No, see, there is something called export worthy packing. Right? When you sign the contract with buyer for such a contract, now they are fragile item. First of all, you write it down on the box. First of all, you try your best technically that you cannot ensure that the packet will not fall. It will fall. 100% it will fall. Right? So your packing should be like that even the fragile items are not broken. What you can do? You can write in very bold letter, it is a fragile item. One thing you can. Second, you can do that. This is upside, this is downside. You can do that. So that more or less they can take care, but they are not responsible. But they will do their best. This is your responsibility. It is not a responsibility of the transporter. Okay. Now third thing, what you will do? When you sign the contract with the buyer, you will say, sir, as per our experience, it is a fragile item. So you will have to accept up to 12% damage. You get the certificate and use that certificate, give it to the shipping company, and you will get a clean bill of board of lading, even if it is damaged. Have you understood what I am saying? But that damage should not be more than 12%. Whatever you have agreed with the buyer. So that contract copy and confirmation has to be given to the shipping company in order to get the bill of lading. That is one method. Second method, there is another method. When you sign the contract with the buyer, you tell, sir, we will do this export worthy packing. But however good packing we will do, our experience says, sir, 10% damage is there. Definitely there. So you have to accept 12% damage. We will not be able to supply you clean bill of lading. It will be, it may be clean bill of lading or it may be dirty bill of lading. So what he will do in the LC, he will mention. What he will mention? He will mention documents. He will mention on board bill of lading. He will not write the word clean. Got it? What is the meaning of this? The meaning of this is that even if it is dirty, it will be acceptable. And bank has no problem because bank is giving this condition and the LC instruction also clean mud is not there. So bank will also not write clean mud. Now it is between you and the buyer, understanding. So what will happen? Suppose there is a damage more than 12%. Suppose there is a damage which is more than 12%. There are two methods. One is that your representative will also check how much percent is there. Or secondly, you are having very good relation with the. So he will say, sir, there is a 3% extra damage. So next time in the price you will do some jewelry and try to compensate. There is no other way. There is no legal way. Legally you cannot make responsible the bank or the transporter or the custom house. You cannot do anything. Only in as a universal practice, 1 point something percentage damage is acceptable to everybody, because it is expected that the custom house can open the goods for checking purpose. So damage will take place, and custom will do that much damage which is acceptable, so that you get the clean bill of lading. So they are expert. They already know that how much damage is allowed. Right? They will do damage to their extent. Rather they will try no damage, but at least they will open the goods for inspection if necessary. It is not necessary. The physical examination is not necessary. Rather, physical examination is 1% or 2%. Out of 100 shipment, there will be 1 shipment which they will inspect physically. Otherwise, it will be self-regulation. It's a sampling system. What custom does, when you file the shipping bill, there is a software in the computer of custom house. So software automatically, randomly will generate that this number shipping bill has to be done physically. So if you are caught in that and there is some hanky-panky, you get into the trouble of FEMA, Foreign Exchange Act, or some act, you will be booked if there is some problem. So it is expected, and you also don't know. Even the custom person who is sitting there, he doesn't know that which shipping bill will require physical examination, because it is done by the IT department of customs, and it is a secret formula. Like only the top person will know, the customer, and he is expected not to do any hanky-panky. So it is normally not possible that anybody will know whether physical examination will take place or not take place. And if physical examination is done for all the shipment, then whole army of custom house will be required. There are so many shipments, and the time required for that will be too much, and all the seaports and the airports will be loaded with goods, because physical examination has to be done. Obviously, you can understand. Now you are clear about all this game. All this game is like this. So that was my idea, to give you a basic understanding of all these things.
But this SGS is international entity?
SGS is an international private organization.
Private organization.
What is the advantage? See, let me tell you, what are the strengths of this organization, SGS? First of all, it's a Swiss company. Swiss company, being a Swiss company, it is a reputed company. Secondly, it is doing this business for probably last 100 years. Right? So they are very reputed. Third, they have either offices or representative in every nook and corner of this world. Even in a small place like Bhadoi or Mirzapur or Muzaffarnagar, there will be a SGS person or representative. Or if it is some big town like, for example, Panipat, which is famous for export, or Tirupur, which is famous for export. So SGS will have their own office, where places where, like Jaipur is a big exporter of many handicraft items. So Jaipur, there will be SGS office. Or suppose there is a smaller village near Jaipur, so either these people will go there or there will be a representative already. So what is the meaning of this? SGS has access to every part of this planet. Now any new organization cannot do it. It is not possible for a new organization to have such a big reach all over the world. Right? So that's why 99% business of inspection, quality inspection, is done by SGS, and it is highly reputed. Otherwise there is no way. Otherwise this business cannot take place internationally. How it is possible? See, you show some sample or you supply something else. Right? Clear? As a double check Now I am coming to another very interesting part of it. As a double check on this quality part, which is nothing to do with the buyer, there is a regulatory document, extra regulatory document by Government of India. That is the EIS, Export Inspection Agency. So what Indian government has done, now how it works, let me tell you. It has nothing to do with the buyer. Buyer is not interested. He is only interested in SGS inspection. But Indian government says, we don't want cheaters to export goods, bad goods, and spoil the name of India. We want patriots. But in business, you cannot ensure patriots. So what Indian government says, there is a regulation. What is the regulation? If your consignment is more than 5 lakh rupees, there is a necessary EIA certificate. Necessary export inspection certificate. Right? EIA. There is a mandatory. So it becomes a regulatory document. Okay. It is nothing to do with the LC. It has nothing to do with the buyer. It is to do with the Indian government. Otherwise, you cannot file the shipping bill. Right? You cannot file the shipping bill. Right? If you can't file the shipping bill, goods will not be cleared. So what Indian government does, physically it is not possible for Indian government to check each and every consignment. So now they have made it a very interesting system. What do? You fill out the EIA certificate. You fill it yourself. It is available from any station shop. Or you can fill online also. EIA certificate, right? You fill it. You get a receipt that I have filled this and I have submitted the form. Okay, you got it? Now, you will get a date. You will get a date. And you have already said that your expected time of sending these goods is this, right? So they will give you a date, that these are the dates available if you want the inspection. So you will agree on some date and you will get a receipt. Now it is up to the Indian government whether they do the inspection or not do. You have to only wait for that date, right? If on that a EIA person comes, is okay. If he doesn't come, then your receipt becomes your EIA certificate. Your responsibility is to file the declaration. That receipt is your EIA certificate, right? Now it is up to the Indian government whether, and of course, do you think that in every case Indian government will send somebody? It's not possible. So same, they have a computer software and the number which is there on the receipt, automatically on certain numbers, automatically randomly a message will come that this consignment has to be checked. Again sampling method. So maybe out of 500 only one or out of 300 only one. That formula will keep on changing. Right? So everybody is afraid that Indian government can also check. Right? So if you get into the trouble, then you have to pay penalties or whatever. Right? So now it is clear. So that is a double check on quality. And that is not that has nothing to do with the buyer. That is to do with the Indian government who want to make sure that our exporters do not cheat. Simple. Right? So this is how this whole game emerges. You understood what is LC, you understood what is banks, role of banks, you understood what is the role of SGS, you understood what is the role of shipping company, you understood what is the role of SGS, right? All these things. So or the EIA. So let me tell you one thing, very, very important thing. In this whole game of export import, whole game, nothing is illogical. Even slightest of a thing is not illogical. If it is anything is illogical, it will be corrected. Why? Because it is world class. You are doing export import where more than 180 countries are involved. So the whole system will only work if there is no loophole. Wherever there is loophole or there is anything illogical, it will be corrected automatically.
By one or the other.
By one or the other. So whatever I will be discussing, you ask me, you go in the deep. Sir, why advising bank? You ask, why why there is acceptance letter of the LC. You ask me why contact name is not to be given, reference to be not. There is a logic. For everything there is a logic. Everything is so logical. Without logic nothing works. Everything is absolutely logical. There is nothing to cram about. In this whole game, in 2 days you will realize everything is based on just 1 minute. So in this whole game you will realize after 2 days you will learn not only what I have taught you. You will learn not only what I have taught you. You will also learn what I have not taught you also. Why? Because you have understood the logic. That's why I started like this. I want to give you the logic of the game. Like for example, in cricket, is there anything which is illogical? In the game of cricket, there is nothing illogical. No, there must be some logic or some history behind it. There must be some logic or history behind it.
South African might be
exceptions are always everywhere.
But in game of cricket, there is something which you don't know. But by logic, you can say, oh, it should be like this. You can say, same is this. Same in export, import, documentation. See, whatever is exports for somebody is a import for somebody. Shipment is same. If something is export for me, but for the buyer it is import. Correct? Basically, export and import transaction is only one. It is the same transaction. It is one is on the seller side, and the other is on the buyer side. So this game basically is an international game, which is full of risks. And what are the risks? Commercial risk, transportation risk, commercial risk, transportation risk, and financial risk. Why financial risk? Because more than one currency is involved. So exchange rate can change. Right? Okay?
Change of policies sometimes. We have failed sometimes.
So that is commercial risk.
Yeah, when you contract the policy is something different.
Yes.
When your consignment arises,
That's it.
arrives, then the policy is different.
That is the commercial risk. So commercial risk can be non-payment risk. It can be policy risk. It can be the default, natural default. The buyer is suddenly become bankrupt. He cannot pay. See, even if the bank has paid, there is a strong possibility that bank will not get the money. By the time he sells the documents to the buyer, buyer is already bankrupt. So what bank will do? Bank will do something which he never do. He will go to the custom house and claim the goods and auction the goods. Auction.
The only option left.
The only option left. He never want to deal with goods, but he will be forced to deal with the goods. Or what he will do? He will sell the document to a third party at 20%, 30%, 40% discount. Bank will do that. That's a risk. Okay? So, all this game is having this background, this basis, and it is absolutely logical game. Once you understand the logic, you can never fail. And without this logic, you can never negotiate a deal with the buyer. Even if you go abroad, if you don't understand this logic, buyer will understand that you don't understand. So he will do two things. Either he will not deal with you, or if he will deal with you, he will try to cheat you. Obviously. Without this game, you cannot operate. If you do not understand the logic behind it, which I am trying to explain, you will not be able to influence the buyer. Buyer will not like to deal with somebody who do not understand the logic, because he will understand that there will be some problem. Somewhere there could be problem. There could be some delays. There could probably you are not understanding the LC. You will not give the acceptance letter. But the buyer needs goods. That is a risk to the buyer. The LC has been opened, everything has been done. Everything is fine. But for some reason, seller is skeptical. No, it doesn't look like this. This condition should not be there. I made a mistake. So he will not give the acceptance letter. Now the problem is with the buyer. Because buyer has already opened the LC, he has given the margin money, he has given the bank charges. Now the seller is not accepting it. That is a risk, right? So buyer will not like to deal with somebody who is unaware. That's why I told you, as per my experience, 80% of the talk is these talks when you meet a foreign buyer. First, he will like to check with you whether you understand LC, whether you understand documentation, whether you understand customs practices, whether you understand Incoterms. All these things buyer will try to check. If he is very sure, then only he will do it. That is what I mean. Clear? So, should we have a lunch?